Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Outkick dated January 14th, and it says the next MSNBC president must fix the clown show. That's a lot of work they're going to have to do, and if you don't know the MSNBC president, as it says here, the very first sentence of the article stepped down. It says her name was Rashida Jones, and she stepped down on Tuesday, so by the time you hear this, it would have been the prior Tuesday. She announced to the staff, says her decision comes less than a week before Donald Trump's return to the White House. Rebecca Cutler, who oversaw the dud that was CNN Plus, is set to serve as the network's interim president. So that's a good thing to have on your resume. A failed app, and you got picked to lead it. The next organization, okay. And hopefully MSNBC goes the way of the dodo bird as well. It says Jones' departure adds further uncertainty to the future of MSNBC. The channel has limped into 2025 after losing more than half of its total day and primetime viewership since the results of the 2024 presidential election in November. Parent company Comcast has since announced plans to spin off MSNBC and several of its other cable channels, likely decreasing the budget for the news operation. Further, MSNBC is not nearly the juggernaut it was when Trump took office in 2017. In 2024, the highest-rated MSNBC program ranked only 13th in cable news. Fox News accounted for each of the 12 spots, and I did a video on this. I don't remember what it's called, but it was probably a couple weeks ago at most from the time you're hearing this, but definitely check that out. It says, as Deadline, White House averages 1.53 million viewers, so that was their highest-rated show at number 13 out of all the cable shows. It says the channel hopes to mend its struggles with an announcement this week that Rachel Maddow will return to her 9 p.m. primetime program Monday through Friday for Trump's first 100 days in office. We are skeptical. Yeah, people tuned out at Rachel Maddow. I mean, I think she lost like half her audience as well, so I don't think that's going to change. It says Maddow is certainly still MSNBC's biggest draw. However, she found stardom within the liberal media as the chief propagandist of the Russia hoax from 2017 to 2019. Therefore, unless she finds another big lie to promulgate, her return likely won't be nearly enough to fix the issues that ail the brand today. Yeah, Rachel, we're still waiting to see what proof you have of the Russia thing being a real. It says, plus, what's the plan for day 101? The network's goofy bench has proven it is not, including Biden's former press secretary, Jen Psaki. And here's the clown car here. Just a bunch of morons. Says the next president of MSNBC will also have to decide whether to maintain the current editorial standards established under Jones. Political views aside, Joy Reid is the most radical pundit in cable news today. Her rhetoric is incendiary and racist by definition, and that's being very kind. Says her latest bit includes defining whether white people are mayonnaise sandwich white or just white. As I was saying, or the author was saying in the previous sentence, says note mayonnaise white is bad. Because okay, imagine saying that about any people of a particular skin color, something to that effect. Of course, they'd be deemed racist, and Joy Reid, as I've said many times, is the most racist person on television. As over the summer, Reid and her colleagues pushed the conspiracy that Trump staged his first assassination attempt. Here is what she posted on Threads at the time. Yeah, how's Threads doing right now, by the way? She said, I have many questions. And then an emoji of someone raising their hand. It says, like, where are the medical reports? What caused Trump's injury and what was the injury? Shrapnel, glass, a bullet? Where were the 3 attendees who were shot, seated, or standing relative to Trump? And for those first few questions, like, Joey, you ever heard of the HIPAA laws? I mean, okay, like, you don't just get to see the medical reports. If Trump authorizes their release, then yeah, you can see them. But other than that, you don't just like get to see them because that is illegal. Says, where were the 3 attendees who were shot or seated standing relative to Trump? You know what? I don't even want to deal with her stupidity. Oh, there's more. It says, why was Trump allowed to stand and pose for photos, fist pumping for nearly 10 seconds while asking about his shoe when there could easily have been additional shooters? How did the gunman manage to get on the roof of the building where the local police were literally inside? More questions. Oh boy. So all this stuff has been answered already. Does it make sense that a 17-year-old who 3 years later is a member of a far-right gun group, I don't think that's true at all. In fact, I think he was a leftist, donated to any political organization, let alone Act Blue org? Look what's going on with Act Blue at this point. There's a scandal brewing there. It says, has the organization verified that? And where is this supposed ladder? Did he seriously bring a 5-foot ladder with him and his AR? Really? And why haven't authorities released information about all 3 civilian victims, including a schematic of where they were standing or sitting? And, okay, so Joe Concha, I think he does stuff for Fox, but he said, and in this embedded tweet here, says, another MSNBCer ignoring the fact checks, debunking the shrapnel glass conspiracy theory, and jumping straight to asking if a bullet hit Trump. She then implies the whole thing was staged. Joy Reid is a co-anchor at the RNC, so at the Republican National Committee, not like on the RNC, like the probably, you know what I mean, and continues to fail upwards in spectacular fashion. Yes, she is a retard, as we say. So then Will Kane says, what is the implication here? Says there's no way MSNBC thinks damage to Trump's ear is of equal curiosity to news value to the mush brain of a sitting president. And I get natural curiosity. Seems clear they're dancing around implying it was staged. Yeah, so MSNBC, as I've said many times, they are just basically leftist fantasy world, and just they make stuff up in their heads and go, it happened. That's it. So, going back to the article, it says, got all that? The hell with facts. MSNBC also still employs Reverend Al Sharpton, whose foundation received $500,000 from Kamala Harris's campaign before he interviewed her on MSNBC in October. The article says Sharpton did not disclose the donation before the interview. Gee, Al Sharpton's corrupt? Who would have thought? Says somehow he was not suspended, and says wonder why. Says Chris Hayes, Nicole Wallace, and Joe Scarborough are not exactly the epitome of credibility either. Notably, Morning Joe is still trying to draw viewers back after they revolted over their visit to Mar-a-Lago after the election. One could argue that the next president should rein in the channel by at least somewhat prioritizing accuracy. We know that is unlikely. See, the issue with MSNBC is not its ideology. There's nothing wrong with an overtly left-wing cable news channel. It's a leftist, as opposed to like left-wing, which would just be like liberal. Says the criticism of MSNBC is that its loons are often some combination of uninformed, dishonest, and hateful. Yeah, I'd say probably all three of those, but yeah, that makes sense. It's based on recent viewership trends. MSNBC agrees. People have lost trust in the network after nearly a decade of lies, inflammatory hoaxes, and perpetual hysteria. Rashida Jones must have realized she couldn't fix the problem she created. Best to jump off the ship before it sinks, am I right? Yep, for her it was, and yep, there you go. And here is the clown show. We'll stop on this picture here, but yeah, MSNBC probably needs to do what they need to get like a Scott Jennings on there, because the people they have on there as Republicans are just have scare quotes around the word Republican. I wouldn't even classify them as rhinos. They're just like they're fake Republicans completely. Such as, if we just scroll down a little bit to one of those embedded tweets, on the right here, Michael Steele. He is a fake Republican at this point. So, yeah, that's it. I'm blabbering. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.